Communication is really a key in a healthy relationship, and boundaries are important part of an ongoing conversation between you and your partner. And that's what's up. Greetings to each and every one of you. Wherever you're watching from all over the world, welcome to a fresh edition of our teaching series. My name is Sole Spencer and this is Teach It with Spencer 007. Stamp saying, and that's what it is. In this edition, we're going to be looking at relationship matters and with the topic, setting healthy boundaries to a successful relationship. Setting healthy boundaries to a successful relationship. You get that? And that's what it is. Alright, without any other further ado, let's get straight to business. And that's what's up. Yeah, man. There are a lot of misconceptions about what boundaries are and what it does for a relationship. We may feel that boundaries are unnecessary because our partner is supposed to already know and act on our needs and wants, or that they ruin the relationship or interfere with the spice. In reality, all healthy relationships have boundaries. A relationship cannot be healthy until both partners communicate their boundaries clearly and the other person respect them. Healthy boundaries in a relationship don't come naturally, nor do they come easily. Now, what are my boundaries? What are your boundaries? Even though we talk about them in relation to other people, in some ways, boundaries are really about your relationship, about yourself. They help you honor your needs, goals, feelings, and values. Boundaries can be emotional, physical, and even digital. Some example of personal boundaries might be, I'm cool with following each other on social media, but I'm not sharing my password with you. Another example could be, I am comfortable kissing and holding hands, but not in public. I'm okay with regular texting, but I don't want to text multiple times in an hour. I want to spend time with my friends or family on weekend. I need quiet time for myself every day. I'm comfortable with touching, but I'm not ready to knack. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it is. It can be helpful to think through your own boundaries no matter what your relationship state is. Start by paying attention to how you feel about and react to situations around you, whether in real life or in shows or movie you watch. What makes you feel uncomfortable? What is important to you? What do you want to keep in private? Is there any type of behavior or trait that would not fly with you? The one we call the deal breaker. It might be helpful to write down some of your thoughts. And now let's look at communicating boundaries. How can you and your partner know each other's boundaries? Communication is really a key in a healthy relationship, and boundaries are important parts of an ongoing conversation between you and your partner. Talking about boundaries can happen whenever, wherever. If your partner does something that you like or you don't like, let them know. A simple, hey, I really like it when you, or I'm not comfortable when we. Let them know what's up. In a healthy relationship, partners respect each other's boundaries once they've been communicated. And if you are ever not clear on your partner's boundaries, just ask questions like, is this okay? Are you cool with this? Just ask questions. Those two statements above can help jumpstart the conversation, but remember that if you don't want to talk about your boundaries with your partner because you're afraid they will react with anger or violence, that is a warning sign that your relationship might be unhealthy or abusive. Yeah. Now let's take a look at healthy versus unhealthy boundaries. Healthy versus unhealthy boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries in a relationship allows both partners to feel comfortable and develop positive self-esteem. In order to establish boundaries, you need to be clear with your partner who you are, what you want, your belief, and your values, and your limits. A lot of times we tend to focus on adjusting to others, taking time away from focusing on ourselves. Setting boundaries for yourself that reflects who you are and who you ultimately want to be will only enhance setting boundaries with your partner in a relationship. Our boundaries, whether they are big or small, are important and deserve to be respected. Now, How do you know if a boundary is healthy or not? How do you know if a boundary is healthy or not? It is important to recognize that healthy boundaries help to respect and protect you. An unhealthy boundary seek to control or harm someone else. A healthy boundary would be, I need space to hang out with my friend and do things I enjoy on my own. But if your partner says, I need you to stop talking to other guys or other girls because you might cheat, I get jealous, that is not a healthy boundary. It's a warning sign that your partner may have some trust issues and is trying to control who you hang out with. The following comparison highlights the difference between healthy boundaries and unhealthy boundaries. Here is an illustration to differentiate between healthy boundaries and unhealthy boundaries. Now, being your own person, that is an healthy boundary. When you're feeling incomplete without the other person, that's an unhealthy boundaries. Accepting transition and endings, that is an unhealthy boundary. Being unable to change, let go and move on, that's unhealthy. Being able to balance separateness and togetherness, that's healthy. Wanting either too much or too little togetherness, that's unhealthy. Having a meaningful friendship outside the partner, that's a healthy boundary. Being unable to build and maintain close friendship with others, that's unhealthy. Being able to see and focus on your own and your partner's good points, that's healthy. Always focusing on your own partner's flaws and worst qualities, that's unhealthy. Achieving intimacy without the use of substances, that's healthy. Using substances to reduce your inhibition and achieve a false sense of intimacy, that's unhealthy. Communicating in a way that is open and real, that is healthy. Playing games, being manipulative, not being willing to listen in a non-defensive way, that's unhealthy. Accepting responsibilities for your own happiness, that's an example of a healthy boundary. Relying on others, especially your partners, to make you happy, that's unhealthy. Being open and asking for what you want in a clear and ambiguous way, that is healthy. But being unable to ask for what you want, that is unhealthy. Respecting and accepting the ways in which you and your partner are different, that is healthy. Blaming and criticizing your partner for having different traits and qualities from you, that is unhealthy. Being loyal and committed to your partner, that's a sign of a healthy boundary. Displaying jealousy and relationship addiction, being uncommitted to your partner, that's unhealthy. These are just some few illustrations that differentiate between healthy boundaries and unhealthy boundaries. Can your boundaries change over time? Yes, it's normal for boundaries to shift as we gain more life experience or get more comfortable with our relationship. We might not be okay with something at the beginning of a relationship, but we might be totally cool with it a few more down the line. On the other hand, we might realize something crosses a boundary for us after experiencing it for the first time. Every person has the right to change their mind about what their boundaries are at any time. What is important is that you are communicating boundary changes to your partner and you're making changes because you want to and not because you are being pressured, forced or manipulated into making them. You deserve to be safe and respected, and boundaries play a big part in creating a healthy relationship that lets you be you. There are guides to establishing successful relationship boundaries, but we're going to be looking at just 5 of it as we round up, alright? And that's what it is. Number 1 is communicate your thoughts with one another. Yes, communicate your thoughts with one another. Be honest, but respectful when sharing your thoughts and feelings with your partner. It's totally normal and okay to need time to gather your thoughts and feelings, but don't use that approach to avoid the conversation. Number 2, never assume or guess your partner's feelings. Making assumptions can create a lot of misunderstanding in a relationship. You may feel like you know your partner very well, that you feel you are entitled to assume what they want or need without asking them? No. But it is always your best bet to ask rather than assume. Number 3, follow through on what you say. Setting boundaries and not executing them let the other person think they have an excuse to continue to overstep your boundaries. You shouldn't make any exception to your own boundaries without careful consideration, because you may soon find yourself on compromising things that aren't acceptable. Number 4, take responsibilities for your actions. Take responsibilities for your action. Instead of immediately blaming your partner for the situation or how you're feeling, take a step back and think about the choices you've made in the relationship and see if they may contribute to the situation. Both partners should be doing this. Number 5, but not the least, know when it's time to move on. Know when it's time to move on. You can only share how you desire to be treated in the relationship, and you can't be responsible for your partner's feelings or communication. Everyone has a right to be treated with respect and fairness. If your partners can't respect your boundaries, then I'm afraid it may be time to end the relationship. Yes. If your partner can't respect your boundaries, then I'm afraid it may be time for you to call it a goodbye. And lastly, as I conclude, setting and establishing healthy boundaries is a skill and it takes time. Remember, healthy boundaries don't come easily, but if you trust your instincts, be open and practical with your partner, the relationship will only get stronger over time. Note that in a relationship, you don't need a perfect person. All you need to do is to work on yourself for the positive. Only then you can attract your spec. For you to attract a responsible person, you need to be responsible. For you to attract an attractive person, you need to be attractive. For you to attract a spiritual person, you need to be spiritual. And for you to attract a rugged person, you need to be rugged, and so on and so forth. Therefore, work on yourself for the positive. Set your principles and standards so long as it's for the positive, and with that, you can easily see yourself on the right track to a healthy relationship. That will be all for this teaching, and if you have a different opinion to mine, please do let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I will see you on another teaching series soon. I remain Sule Spencer. Do enjoy the rest of your day as you remain ever blessed. Bye for now, and that's what's up.